Hey, good day. This is your boy Robert Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? And this is an impromptu Rob report. All right, so what a weekend, what a day. Cory Booker drops out of the presidential race. Now, a lot of black people are mad because Kamala Harris is gone and Cory Booker is gone. All I can say is, don't be mad. So sad. I'm glad they're gone. Because these two politicians had all this time to build up a repertoire or a record with the black community as senators and have not done anything. Cory Booker saw the opportunity to seize a Senate seat, jumped on it, left his mayoral seat behind, and left Newark, New Jersey worse than before. Now, they do have a union-minded mayor, but the union-minded mayor had to listen to the union because the union controls most of New Jersey. And which is good to me because I'm an organizer at heart. And we fight to make sure working people get what they need to do. Sometimes we don't have time to wait for numbnut politicians to get it done. It's the workers alongside with the union, which is made up of workers, to get these things done. But Cory Booker, he claims to be pro-union. I mean, he actually came out to a couple of campaigns that I worked on and talk to the workers. But my thing was, don't just talk to the workers, inspiring them and pumping them up ain't gonna put more money in their pocket. I need you to stand in front of a camera and shame the heck out of these companies by name. But Cory Booker would not do that because a lot of these companies are possible donators. And oftentimes it's a conflict of interest. You cannot shame the company that's donating to your campaign, and that rhymes. Where's the shame when they're donating the campaign? There is no shame because they're donating to your campaign. And then his girlfriend is Rosario Dawson. She's all on a Marvel TV series and all that kind of stuff, and Will Smith and all that kind of stuff. And she was one of Bernie Sanders' chief advocate, the chief advocate. So now, my thing is, she's supposed to be advocating for Bernie Sanders, but she's in love with this corporatist, this pharmaceutical, kiss upper. I call him the Grim Reaper because he actually denied the opportunity for elderly people to get prescription drug for pennies on the dollar. And I got friends of mine that was excited about this Cory Booker running for office. It was too early for Cory Booker. Everybody's not Obama. You're not Obama, Cory Booker. You're not Superman. You're not, you need to go back to New York and rescue some cats. All of this stuff is just overkill, trying to seem like you're this super politician that you care about the people when deep down in the surface, it's just not there on paper, bruh. It's just not there on paper. Senator Cory Booker announced Monday he is dropping out of the Democratic presidential race. With his departure from Massachusetts, Governor Deval Patrick is now the only black candidate remaining in the 12-candidate Democratic primary. Dang, I ain't know Deval Patrick was still running. Where's his campaign? You don't hear about him? He's not on stage because nobody cares. Nobody cares about these corporate suck-up. Deval Patrick is one of the biggest corporate suck-up. Him and Mitt Romney are friends. He been involved with Bain Capital, a vulture capitalist company. All they do is eat up workers for lunch, especially black workers. But you want us to be so involved with these campaigns because they black. You cannot throw black people on a ballot and expect black people to just support them. How dumb you think we are. It's an insult. You're insulting the black mind. You're insulting the black community, thinking that I can throw anything up. Black people just going to go for it just because they're black. We tried that with Obama, and it didn't work. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, shame on me. Ain't going to be fooling me again. Black people are not waking up to it. And I got a guy talking about, I wish more people listen to Candace Owens. Man, you crazy. Candace Owens is an opportunist, and all she's going to do is try to lead people to vote for Trump. Black people don't need to take sides. They need to take over. You ain't got nothing for me. Forget our vote. Go to the Latino community, because you're doing that anyway. You're trying to phase us out by letting everybody come into the country so they can have more voting power to kind of race us out. Now, I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Allow everybody to come to the country. Let's change the immigration laws. Allow everybody to come to the country to silence out the black vote. And when I mean black vote, I mean the black vote that actually changed the system from the early 1900s to the present. I'm talking about that vote of the American descendants of slaves, those who came from foundational slaves, those who came from the roots of this country. The easiest way to erase their vote and not depend on them to do anything is to open the doors to immigration, which I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine is you open the door and give people opportunities that you have yet given the foundational Black Americans here. But you think you're going to throw somebody like Deval Patrick, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and think black people just going to eat that up? We are looking for whoever have our best interests at heart. We're tired of the talking about, after my second term, look here, people. Look here, black people. It'll be atrocity. It'll be a shame to my legacy if you don't vote for Hillary Clinton. She ain't doing nothing for black people. Matter of fact, she championed one of the worst laws, Biden bill, that her husband signed to put black people in jail, young, old, men, women, it doesn't matter. Champion that. Let alone a couple other policies. Let alone she left Libya as a slave state. Got rid of a black man. He was black. Gaddafi was black. Just so she can have a notch in her belt. Same thing Trump did with this general in the Middle East. With his departure, nearly 1 year ago, I got in the race for president because I believe to my core that the answer to the common pain Americans are feeling right now, the answer to Donald Trump's hatred and division, is to reunite our spirit of common purpose to take on our biggest challenge and build a more just and fair country for everyone. He said in the email supporters obtained by NBC News, I've always believed that. I still believe that. I'm proud I never compromised my faith in these principles during the campaign to score political points to tear down each other. But the bottom line, Cory Booker, bro, you made this about Trump. This is what's going to hurt all you freaking Democrats running for office, is because you're trying to get everybody's eyes on Trump being the issue when it's the system the issue. The reason you got Trump now is because the system has failed people, and people that's how you got Obama. People wanted to change, so they went with Obama. People still want to change. So since you cheated Bernie out of office, they went with Trump because he was at least looked like a change agent, and he is a change agent. It's not a change for good, but he's a change agent. I mean, he took corporatism to a whole nother level right now, while still looking like a renegade, a maverick. And maybe I'm stubborn, but I'll never abandon my faith in what we accomplished when we joined together, he continued. I'll carry this fight forward. I just won't be doing it as a candidate for president this year. Friends, it's with a full heart that I share this news, and I made the decision to suspend my campaign for president. Booker held a staff call at his campaign headquarters in New York before making his announcement public. A campaign official told you. Let's take a look at this mess. Let's look at this mess.
I am literally here on this stage right now because 50 years ago, there was a lawyer on a couch who changed his life, changed his mind to get up and start representing families, one of them mine, who were discriminated against. Ours is the story of the faith we have had in one another. We know beating Donald Trump is the floor, it is not the ceiling. It gets us out of a valley It does not get us to the mountaintop. It's not going to be a referendum on who he is. It's going to be a referendum on who we are and who we are to each other and for each other. We need all Democrats together to call to this country, to stand together, to work together, to rise together. Today, I'm suspending my campaign for president with the same spirit with which it began. It is my faith in us together as a nation, that we share common pain and common problems that can only be solved with a common purpose and a sense of common cause. So now I recommit myself to the work. I can't wait to get back on the campaign trail and campaign as hard as I can for whoever is the eventual nominee and for candidates up and down the ballot. But for now, I want to say thank you. Campaigning over this last year has been one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. Meeting you, meeting people across this country who believe, who know that we may have challenges right now in our nation, but together we will rise.
All right, there you go. Cory Booker dropping out of the race. See, the thing I got about different about Cory Booker, he didn't make it about the pains of America. He come with this platitudes, which are good if you have something to back up with the platitudes. It's like a preacher. You can preach good, but if my mama always told me, look, preacher can shout your pants out of your draws out your pants and make you feel good, but if there's no strategy behind it to make your life better, that is not a good preacher. That's just an orator. And clearly Cory Booker is a great orator, but he never had the policies to get it done. And then he's sticking with Democrats. This is the problem with Democrats. You're focused on Democrats coming together. You need to focus on the world coming together, because you may have somebody that's outside the party that don't want to have nothing to do with freaking parties. Will never sign up for your policy, but you still need their vote. You still need their vote. You still need their support. But you got to show yourself that you're not just going to support. It's not about supporting a Democratic base. It's about supporting America. That's one thing I respect about Tulsi Gabbard, because it's about America. It's not about supporting a Democrat. She has no problem calling out a Democrat. One of the things I like about Nina Turner, whether you agree with her or hate her, like her, love her, think she kissing Bernie behind, whether you think she a mammy or whatever, this is one thing I can agree with her. She ain't scared to call out the Democrats either. She'll call them out. They don't like her. What do you think? She's a suck up. They don't suck up to her. They can't stand Nina. They can't stand Bernie. They can't stand Tulsi Gabbard, because they are a existential threat to them. Now, black community coming together as one, saying no vote, no tangible, no vote, is a stronger threat, because we can cost you your desire to become president at this moment. And as Cory Booker began to see, Kamala Harris began to see, Deval Patrick, he might as well just hang it up. Bruh, you wasting your energy even getting in this race, especially this late. We're not looking for, well, they look like they're not going to get it done. Let's have somebody come in that probably can get it done. We're not looking for that. We know who can get it done. We know who can reach out, who can cross all party lines and outside the party. We know that people can do that. It ain't Joe Biden, and surely ain't Elizabeth Warren. They don't have that crossover appeal like Obama had. Obama had that crossover appeal. And you're not winning no election unless you got crossover appeal. You got, number one, secure the black vote and do whatever you can to secure the black vote so you can win in the general. Win in the primary. But once you get in the general, you got to have that crossover appeal. You still got to secure your black vote and keep your promise to them. Get a black contract for America, a contract for Black America, and hold yourself accountable to it. But yeah, you're gonna have to reach out outside the party. You gotta have that crossover appeal. Warren don't have it, because everybody know Warren's a liar. She's a corporatist. She's not truthful. She's not honest. And I'm going to talk about her next. from her being an Indian, Native American, whatever, to her and this money thing, and to her refusing to denounce anybody who do nepotism and favoritism for their child because she's known to do it. She ain't getting no crossover appeal. Trump will murder her in the elections. Make her look like a fool because she's making herself look like a fool. Now she's accusing Bernie, but that's another story. But the bottom line is Cory Booker is out. Cory Booker is out. I'm not even going to talk about this Queen Elizabeth and the Harry and Meghan thing. We know how racist the royal family has been all this time, and they probably, I'm not even going to go into that. Hopefully things change. It's 2020 now. Come on, people. But Cory Booker was a walking platitude puppet. He was like a little lower than Obama. In other words, he don't have the charisma and stature of Obama, but he probably would have did more for corporatism than Obama. And when we need somebody that's going to do radical change in this government, or this government will be crushed. We need radical change in our foreign policies. We need radical change in our domestic policies. We need to make sure we take care of the communities that are in deep struggle. We need to deal with housing. We need to deal with education. We need to deal with health. We need to deal with wealth equality. There's a lot of things we need to deal with. And it really means turning your butt toward corporatism and telling them to kiss it for a little bit. Now, what I want to see is what's going to happen with Cory Booker and his endorsement. I don't give a crap about endorsement. Who's supporting who is the last thing I care. But I want to see who controls who in this relationship, because Rosario Dawson is supposed to be a Bernie Sanders surrogate, and she haven't came out this year as a Bernie Sanders surrogate because she's been in a relationship with Cory Booker. It's like you're not standing by your man. And she don't want to look like that. But there are a couple. So let's see if she's going to convince him to support Bernie Sanders. Because if he don't, it's going to be a problem in that household. And I got to admit, she's fine and sexy, but she ain't that fine and sexy. Anyway, Cory Booker drops out the race. This whole thing was too early for Cory. Cory he just got to Congress. And he need to establish a track record of serving, number one, his constituents, and having a track record now. Number two, really, really spending quality time with the Black community and finding out their needs and advocating for it. I keep making that key. You don't tell us what our needs are. We tell you what our needs are. And if you want our support, you go out and advocate for our needs. If you don't do it, don't expect us to vote for you. And anybody out there think we're going to vote for you, it's not going to happen. But what's his name? He did this and did this back when in 1960. That's 1960. I don't give a crap about that. Today, what have you done for us lately? Us in particular, in policy. What have you pushed for our particular community? Because you'll push stuff for people who are refugees. You're pushing hard for DACA. Was willing to negotiate with Trump a piece of the wall for DACA, but what have you done for? Not saying that that's not good, but what have you done for us? Yet you want us to support you. Yet you talk about Pete Buttigieg ain't got the Black vote. You claim, well, we know Biden's getting the Black vote. Who told you that? A freaking poll? You don't know that. And you realize there's more people that's 45 and under that's going to get out and vote this year than 45 and up. So don't be giving him the Black credit. None of y'all get credit for the Black vote right now. None of y'all. Can't even maintain your white vote. Trump is taking that. Can't maintain white women vote. So focus on your base and solidify your base by offering concessions before the vote. Because we're not going for, or vote for me and I'll do this. Well, look at people. If you vote for me, I'll promise you, I'll do this. Promise, dude, put it on paper so we can come back. See, that's the beautiful thing about a covenant or a contract. We can come back and point to you when you say, well, my first term and my first 90 days, me, Joe, my administration, we're going to make sure we close the wealth gap for blacks. We're going to offer more opportunities for education, Ivy League. We're going to do whatever we can to make it healthcare free, education free, get rid of stipulation for loans, make it easier to own businesses. We're going to give you money. We owe you money. No loans. We're going to give you money. We're going to give you land. Whatever. Put it in the contract and say, if I don't do it within my second term, then you can vote me out. You're scared to do that. You're scared to do that. You're scared to do that because you're scared to perform for your base. You just want to get the vote and don't do nothing. And we're telling you right now, this time is over. You got to show yourself a performer before we put you in the office, because we will look at you. Ask Cory Booker. Ask Kamala Harris. Ask Julian Castro. Ask anybody that dropped out the race. Amy Klobuchar, you're next. You're next. You're next. We got to weed you people off this stage. Marianne Williamson, the only one that said, this is what I want to do for black people. I do want to give them a reparation. And yeah, I put it at a tune of $60 billion, but I got people around me telling me I need to push that up. So I'm listening. I'm open. She had to drop out the race. Why did she drop out the race? Well, the funding wasn't there. We only make up a certain amount of society. And then there's other people who know we need what she was talking about. There was one to cut her off, shame her, and whatever they can. Get that mess out of here. Don't be coming talking about that stuff. Well, my hat's off to Marianne Williamson. So anyway, I'm done with this particular one. Yeah, Cory Booker was next anyway. He was looking low in funds and, it's too early. He needed to go back. Now, you're young. You, Kamala Harris, are young. You need to find out, you need to give your heart to America and not to the Capitol. And you need to starting at your roots. Kamala Harris needs to start at her East Indian roots and her Jamaican, Scotch, Irish roots and go from there. Make sure you can't tell me what you're going to do for this country when you're not doing it for your community. Because your country is, you grew up with your community before you grew up with the rest of the United States. What are you doing for your community? Same thing with Booker. What you got, Booker? Deval Patrick haven't done nothing for his community. He's so busy doing whatever Bain Capital tell him to do. He sits on the board. Don't even bring up Michael Bloomberg, Mr. Stop, Frisk, throw you in jail if you smell like you got weed. He's like the worst end of Joe Biden's policy. So come on, guys. Anyway, I'm done. All right, I'll holler at you later. Peace.